What's going on, everybody? My name is Simply Mac and welcome back to the channel. In this one we are back on the FLStudio, bro. Let's go. So in this one I'm going to be literally doing a whole entire beat or song or whichever using Splice pretty much. I'm going to show you guys how easy it is, and if you want to do this you can. Yeah, it's not cheating per se. I wouldn't say it's cheating. You can, people obviously do use a lot of samples and whatnot and basses and stuff. I'll show you one here. I've literally just cooked this up in like maybe 10 minutes. It's so easy. I usually don't do this just because I like making my own. I've got literally the MIDI keyboard thing, I can't remember the name of it, but it's got pads and stuff like that. I do use that. I make my own. If you want to go check the SoundCloud, I'll leave it a link in the description. But yeah, let's jump straight into this and see what we've got so far. There is a pretty big storm going on in the UK right now. I thought, you know what a better time, probably gonna hear it in the background of this video. Sorry for the awful lighting. I literally cannot find a light, but I don't want to put the main light on either. But let's hear what I've got so far, and then I'll do a rundown basically of how I've done this. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. I will have the camera turned off for this section so I can show you guys a little bit easier. So what I've done is I've pulled some drums off of Splice itself, which obviously I've got up in here. Like I said, I prefer to make my own, but I just thought I'd do this for shits and giggles really. So I've got obviously my drums here, my drum patterns, very loopy, easy to use. I have some saw waves, can't remember what they're called. You'll hear them obviously when I play them. It's very decent to use in, it's quite new actually I think, to use in UK Garage. I've not really heard it before, but it sounds really good. Obviously I'm going for F and C. Yeah, it's different keys, but it works. I pulled some vocals as well, and some Reese's bass. Obviously, like I said, I will say again, this is just a way to mess around if you guys want to cook something up real quick, or you want to, I don't know, learn how to make it or listen to it and try and interpret yourself. I don't know, it's entirely, you use it entirely however you want to. Obviously you pay for the subscription, you use it however, but like I said, I prefer to make my own. On the left hand side there you can see I've got a lot of what you call them, samples really. Let me just play one real quick. I've got one of them for like when I do add like that into a song, so it's just easier for me to do. Or for another example is like a chopped vocal. I've literally just got that for probably the background. I can literally pull that from anywhere and just do that myself, but sometimes it is easier to do. I don't really upload a lot of the songs I've done anyway. I've just got so many unreleased songs that I have made, but using Splice as well, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, long story short, let's jump in and listen to this for the first time. So literally, like I said, very simple, nothing too absolutely insane going on right now. I've literally just had a few, what you call them, think. Reverb, that's what I'm looking for. I found, well, I put some reverb on the vocals. I cannot speak today, I don't know what's going on. Did put some on there, you probably hear it, so it sounds a little bit better when you do your transition from obviously a loop to the next loop. Let me do a kind of demonstration, I will show you guys. It is a little bit easier to show, so I'll try to do as least cuts as I can here. Don't want that noise well. So obviously got the vocals here, got that in track 1, and in track 1 I have reverb 2. So let me just pull this over to the side. You will hear it on the end, it will go on for a little bit longer. So let me just show you a demonstration real quick. I promise you, I'll turn that down way too low. So you'll hear again at the end. You can hear a little bit of reverb already. So let me just paste that again. So even if I were to make that a little bit longer or a little bit more separate, it would still keep the last tone going a little bit longer, so it sounds a little bit better in the transition. So let me skip to the end here. See how it sustains a little bit longer, and obviously if I want to bring that back a little bit more, if I want a little break in between, So it's not just, if I didn't have that, I will show a quick thing of that. So if I put it back at 0, I know what to put it there. Kind of gives cuts, but if I mean, it sounds alright there when it's a loop. Obviously, with it being a loop, it's meant to be together. So if I were to separate that a little bit there, like I did on the other one, you'll hear what I mean.
Let's see what you can do.
It doesn't sustain, but then I'll show back again on one. It sustains for a little bit longer. Like I said, I would, if you guys are doing this, I would recommend doing that for vocals and maybe even sim sometimes, or chords, if you have spaced them out a little bit, just because it makes that transition a little bit smoother into the next part. So I'm just going to break down how I've made this and how you possibly can make this yourself if you want to. Like I said, this is all available on FLStudios. I'm using FLStudios on Splice. It's very easy to do. So obviously I've got Splice up here, pull it up, I've got all my things that I use here. I download one, it's common sense, you download one, drop it in here, there you go, you got your sample in FLStudios. So the way that I started off basically was by getting the drum pattern, my drum loop. I always start either with my drum loop or maybe even a kick snare or just hi-hats or something like that, something simple. Obviously I went with this one. Quite simple, easy, yeah, you drop it in, and obviously that loop is pretty decent on the end as well, to just keep looping over, so you'll hear again on the end. So they've added like a little fill kind of at the end, so it does loop on into the next one easy. I keep looking at my face on the monitor, I don't know why I keep doing that. So yeah, that's a nice little transition over into the next section. The next part I did do also was, like I said, the unison saw wave. Literally just kept that playing over and over. So like I said, let me just remove that, you'll hear it again. I did add a fade in to this section to make it like kind of gradually build up into the, obviously the sound of this unison saw wave. That's the only way I can really describe it. There's no other way around. There's no easy way of saying it, to be honest, but I'll play it so you can hear it kind of soothing. So you can hear it goes up. You can play around with it a little bit. I like to do that sometimes. If I do have like if I'm chopping like a sample or something, and I like to transition to another part, I like to add a little bit of what you call it. I've literally just said the word fade in. That's what I'm looking for. I do it a lot. I've done it here, so it's not too sudden of a attack on the actual either synth, bass, or vocal, whichever you're using. It does sound a little bit better when you do add it onto the start of the track. Basically, like I said, without it, it's just very. It does sound good, don't get me wrong. It might sound different if you use something else or a different synth or whichever. It could be different, like I said, along everything. With this, it's either or. I just prefer the sound of, obviously, the fade in. So it gradually builds up. And you can play around with, obviously, volumes. You can have it starting off with nothing into, obviously, full volume, or you can have it like gradually just nothing into middle to high. So it does get that high quicker. Or if you want it just pretty low, it will take a lot longer to fade in. But yeah, that's pretty much very simple of how to, if you didn't know that, obviously now you know. So, but yeah, let's jump onto the next section with the vocals. With the vocal section, literally all I did was drag a sound that I like. So it was obviously this vocal that I did find. Let's hear it again. So yeah, her voice is amazing. I can't remember her name. She is on Splice. You can download some of her, obviously what you call it, her vocals obviously, and use them in your own songs or mix them up or do literally whatever you want with them. Like I said, you're paying for the program, you do whatever you want. So I've added that quick little fade in just to make it look a little bit easier. I'm literally pointing at my monitor like you guys can see what I'm pointing at. I'll probably use my mouse, it's a bit easier. So here I've got that very small fade in so it doesn't attack straight away. It's a nice gradual, or not really gradual, just like a nice way of introducing the vocals into the track. So you'll hear it's nice. Whereas if I didn't have that, it's very sudden. I could even drag it a little bit longer. I could probably bend that up a little bit more to make it a little bit obviously noisier. And obviously that does give it a little bit of depth to the actual track itself, instead of it just being very basic and just a vocal as it is. So I can even drag that a little bit more, turn it up a little bit more. So it takes out the first part. So yeah, that's very basic on how to do vocals and whatnot. You can add filters, you can add your reverb, which obviously I've done here. I mean, it would sound good with, if I'll do a quick little, what you would call it, you'll know what I'm talking about when it comes to it. I just can't remember time lapse, that's it. I keep forgetting my words. I'll do a quick time lapse of me obviously adding a filter to this. So you can hear it now a little bit. I've changed it, let me put it on a different one so it's a little bit more noticeable. So it's called Pulsar. I do like that one personally, that does sound really good. I might actually leave it on that. So I've got this one on track 2 on its own for the intro, and I've kept the separate, this other ones are separate on track 1, I think it was, just so I know which one's which. And obviously I've got the low, not the low filter, I've got the reverb on the second one, so we'll hear it again. So yeah, that's pretty much how to sum up that. You can mess around with it as much as you want, do whatever you want with it, cut it up, change it, add, literally do whatever. The possibilities are absolutely endless. Like I said, I could probably do a little bit more. There's a lot you can do. I'm literally going to do a time lapse now of me pretty much finishing, no, not finishing, but doing a complete first part, so you can hear what you can kind of do with this program or with Splice, and cook up your own things pretty much. But yeah, I'll be back when I've sorted that out. Sorry to interrupt this part. I know I literally just said I'm gonna think of this, but this is a little quick segment. I am using I can't remember literally, I've just clicked on it, Slice X. There's a Slice X and then there's another one I'm using, Fruit Slicer. So what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting up sections of the vocals to make it sound different, or I can put it in reverse, for example, here. So I'm going to click on beat, I'm going to click on reverse, and I've put it in track 2. It will pop up in a pattern. I drop it here somewhere, and this is the outcome. So pretty much to sum it up real quick, all that has done is reversed the sample, chopped it up, and I think it's placed it into different parts. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm still kind of messing around with it. I haven't used it too much. I do my own slicing with vocals if I do use them in a song, or like a sample, I can cut them up and use obviously the samples out of that, which I like and find. But sometimes with the vocals it does sound really good, so I can keep that there. I could probably even have that as an intro. But yeah, let's get back to the time lapse. This next segment, I'm literally going to open Splice again, and obviously I've got my presets here. So what I can do is, like I said, I keep saying it, I do like to make my own, but for this one I'm just going to grab a random one, some parts. So this one will do, drag that over there, drop that in, and there you go. Sometimes, good God, it would not stop. So with this one, it might sound a little bit out of sync, so you will hear. It is a little bit too fast. So what you can do is you can either click this up here, which is your stretch key or your stretch button, and you can manipulate it to however. So what I like to do is I like to put it on the bar that I think might work. Basically it's just like a guessing thing, and I like to space it in between of what I've already got. So if I have 2 that's already in there, it should sound right. That's the way that I do it, and it's worked every time. So let's hear this. And obviously that sounds a lot better. So also when you do stretch, it will sound a little bit different. So obviously at the moment it sounds like this. Sounds very slow. Whereas if you click on, obviously double click your sample, click the resample mode and change it to either E3 genetic, oh my god, E3 genetic, a generic, oh my. You can either change it to stretch or E3 generic. I like to choose E3 generic. Damn, that was hard to say. So I click on there, obviously go back and it sounds like this now. It sounds like the actual sample now, even though it is stretched still. It does sound obviously like the very normal sample of what you pulled over the first time, instead of it sounding either too slow, too quick sometimes, even if it's like you need to pull it back, you need to make it faster. Do my method that I've just showed you, and it should work every time. But again, let me finish this up, and we'll listen to it for the last time, and yeah, let's get at it. So I have what you call a, probably not the best, it's not the best at all, like I said, this is a video. I'm kind of speed running this so I can just get it out and show you guys it, because I am going to try to get back into uploading. But this is what I've made so far. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys also make your own beats out of this, drop them in the comments, send your links over, and we'll have a listen to them probably on another video if you guys do send them. So yeah, it's been your boy Simply Mark. I'm going to end off on the track. It's been your boy. It's been another fun one. Let's hope this one reaches 14k views as well. Fingers crossed, let's go. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and I'll leave out on the song. Peace out.
I promise you.